Gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's me, Karen Frost here at Nail Decadence, and I've got another Madam Glam video to share with you. I had no idea they were sending this box, so I was super excited, as you could see by my excited hands and clapping and stuff. Yeah, I had no idea this box was coming, so it was a lovely surprise and I was really excited to see what they sent. And this is what they sent. If you don't want to see the swatching and me taking a look at these polishes, then you can skip ahead to that timestamp that was in the corner of the screen, and that will take you to the rest of the video. But for those who want to know, this is what I got. So that one was Vanilla Sky. It's a really lovely lavender pastel purple. This blue is, it's like a almost bordering neon, that blue. It's really nice. And then this dusty pale green, which is a gorgeous mint. So yeah, these are the colours that they sent me, and I'm going to swatch them on some swatch sticks so you can see them, what they look like swatched, and you can see what the texture is like. Madam Glam polishes are they're on the thicker side of viscosity. When we're talking about viscosity, like I mentioned in the Model 1's videos, the Model 1's polishes are noticeably thinner in viscosity than Madam Glam. Comparing to SBD London, they are similar to the SBD London ones, because SBD London polishes gel polishes are thick as well. So it depends on personal preference as to what kind of polish you prefer to work with. I personally prefer the thicker ones. However, the thinner viscosity ones have their advantages as well. They're less likely to bulk the nails and stuff like that. So each one has its pros and cons, whether it's a thick or thinner viscosity. But yeah, it's all personal preference really. Obviously you can work with either. It's certainly not difficult to work with either. They just work slightly different in application when you're working with thin versus thick. So I've applied 2 fairly thin layers of polish. I prefer to work with thin layers so that I know it's going to cure thoroughly. I would rather do 3 thin layers than 2 thick layers, but with Madam Glam, as you saw, 1 layer is almost opaque, so 2 thin layers is definitely the way to go with Madam Glam. And then of course you don't risk it wrinkling or anything like that. If you apply gel polish, no matter what the brand is, if you apply it too thickly you will get wrinkling. It's just, yeah, it's how gel polish works. So always work in thinner layers, and I'm just showing you here, these are the colours after they've been top coated, and they do match the lids and the stickers on the bottle, which is something I actually really enjoy about the Madam Glam polishes. The packaging tells you exactly what's going on, and it is true to what's inside the bottle, so I do appreciate that. So on to what we're going to be using to create a set of nails. So I'm going to be using my nail acrylic. As usual, I mixed my own colour. If you'd like to know how to custom mix acrylic colours, then check out the video in the link in the cards as mentioned on the screen, and that will take you to a video on how I make my custom acrylic powdered colours, you know. And of course I'm going to be using the Madam Glam gel polishes. I do have a discount code. My discount code is naildecadencekf, and that will get you a 30% discount on your orders from Madam Glam should you wish to purchase. There is a link in my description box, so do go ahead and use that link if you are going to purchase. I'd really appreciate if you used my code, because if you use my code, Madam Glam are more likely to still work with me, and maybe we can get them to help us with a giveaway, you know. Let's see what we can do, huh? I've got some ideas. I do have some ideas, but I don't want to push things. So yeah, let's see how it goes first, and then maybe at some point I can get them to sponsor a giveaway for you guys. Wouldn't that be exciting? Yeah. Anyway, so there's all the other bits I'm using, and I'm using that pink brush. That pink Kolinsky brush there's a link for that in my description box as well. That's not an affiliate link or anything, it's just where I've purchased from. I really enjoy using the brush. I've got a few brushes that I enjoy using, and that is one of them. And then I'm using these really gorgeous butterflies. They're like a plasticky texture to them. They're really pretty though. I thought I was recording. I'm so sorry. So you've missed some of the application on the little finger. I thought I was recording, and apparently I wasn't. So you've missed the application of that cover pink, and now I'm going to cap that cover pink with clear acrylic. So sorry, but you'll see the application on the other fingers. As you can see, I have already prepared the nails, applied some almond shaped tips, and applied my thin clear base before proceeding with the design. So it's very simple design in this set. I'm basically doing a full colour of full coverage of the cover pink that I mixed up. Really like this cover pink I've mixed up. I'm gonna have to make some more of it because I only made a small amount, so I'm definitely gonna have to make some more of it. I really like this cover pink that I've mixed. It's such a nice pinky peach, but not too peach but not too pink. I think it's just a really lovely colour. Anyway, that was a sidetrack tangent that I went on there. So on with the application. As you saw, I applied the first bead, brought that down the tip, then I'm applying the second bead up by the cuticle area, and then I'm making sure that that middle area is also filled in to ensure good opaque coverage from cuticle to tip. As per usual, I'm only using this cover pink for colour only. I will build my strength and structure with the clear acrylic, and also because I'm adding some of these little bits and bobs, I do need to encapsulate them. So that cover pink was very much a thin layer to allow a good amount of capping. When you are capping and encapsulating items, you do want a larger margin as you can get, so that way you don't file into it. And the only way to do that is to ensure that that layer that you've applied below those items is thin. So that cover pink is just for colour only. I didn't bulk out the nail, I didn't add any thickness with it at all. That way, after I've added all my bits and bobs that I want to encapsulate it, when I go to apply my clear, I know that I am then able to add a substantial amount of clear acrylic, so that I know that it would be very difficult for me to file into those bits and bobs because I've got such a good margin. So do keep that, whenever you're encapsulating, keep that base layer as thin as you possibly can, whilst getting the good colour opaqueness and coverage from whatever colour that you are using. Then obviously I applied the bits and bobs where needed. I used a small amount of clear acrylic to adhere them if the acrylic cover pink had started to dry. Again, very small amounts of clear if you use clear to attach bits and bobs. Then I will let those set up in place because I don't want them to start moving about, because if I go straight in with my encapsulating capping layer, those bits and bobs can slide and move, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm letting them set up, moving on to another nail while that's happening, so that I'm not losing any time per se. I'm still carrying on working efficiently and getting the nails done whilst letting that set up. That clear bead that I just added just now was fairly dry. It was a terrible bead pickup, so what you saw me doing with my brush there was literally stabbing into it to get some monomer into where there was a bit of powder that hadn't had any monomer on it. That way I don't get that white crystallized patch that can look quite unsightly, so that's why I stabbed into it, just get a bit of monomer into that acrylic powder so that you can't see any crystallization, and then I can just use my brush to smooth it all back down again, and nobody would know. No, you can't tell anymore. Magic, it's gone. No inclusions. It's wonderful. So on to the index finger, and it's same again, full cover of the cover pink. So I've placed that bead in the middle of the nail. It's a fairly large bead, bringing that down, but again, thin. I can't say it enough, totally thin nails, because you add your strength and structure with your clear. That way you've got a strong nail, but also you're saving your cover pinks and colours, powders, because they're going to last that little bit longer because you're not building the nail with them. But also when because I mix my own colours, I can't attest to how strong that acrylic would be, so I wouldn't be comfortable building a nail with that cover pink that I mixed myself in any event. So yeah, just for all manner of reasons, I prefer to build my strength and structure with clear and basically sandwich the colours in between. So I've got my clear base layer, then I've got my colours, and then I've got my clear capping layer, and that makes for a very strong, resilient nail that is also beautiful, because the clear over the top of a colour just gives it that glass effect, and I just think it's beautiful. That's just my personal preference, but most cover pinks you are able to build the entire nail with them, should you wish to, if you don't want to do a capping layer. So I'm just going to make sure that nail, you see, it's still quite flat. I still got to put my apex in it, and you know that I've added quite a few beads at this point. So yeah, just goes to show, even though it looks like I'm adding loads of acrylic, I'm not. It's the perception of the camera. So that bead there was helping to build my apex, and then I will look from the side, and that needed a little bit more in that back third, so I added a little bit more. That brought my apex up to where I need it to be. Then I can leave that alone and go on to that ring finger, encapsulate all my goodies. So that first bead that I applied was a very, very wet, runny bead of clear acrylic. That ensures that the clear acrylic is going to seep in and around all of those little nuggets of wonderfulness. It's going to cover them without trapping air pockets, and it will just give it a much cleaner, neater look. Then I can go ahead and add the normal consistency beads over the top of that and build my nail. It's a good little trick. I mean, it's not strictly necessary. You can just go in with your normal beads and it may just be okay, but I like to make sure that I'm not going to trap any air pockets in there, and that's why I do that wet layer first. Then before I put all my bits away, I stop and look at all of the nails together and make sure that they are all similar, and as you can see, they were not. So I've added a little bit more acrylic to a few of the tips and wherever else is needed, and I'll take a good look at them again from all different angles, make sure that they are a similar thickness and width and height and all of that good stuff. Then I will let it all set up and file them. So I filed and shaped off camera. Sorry my little frosty filing freaks, no filing this time. We're going straight into the design. I'm keeping the design fairly simple on this occasion. I'm trying to do a few more, more simple designs. So, the encapsulating of those bits and bobs wasn't anything too extravagant, but it just gives a nice little effect. So I'm going to use quite a long striping brush, and I'm just going to do some wavy lines. And that's it really. It's just doing some wavy lines. You can do these wavy lines however which way you fancy doing them. You can have them a bit more with a bit more of a curve on them. You can have them a bit straighter. It's up to you. You can have it going from side to side instead of more vertical like what I'm doing. The possibilities are endless. The consistency of the Madam Glam gel polishes are actually really nice for doing this because they are fairly opaque with one layer. You can get away with using them as drawing gels, which is wonderful, although they do have some drawing gels which I am very curious about. I'm hoping to get to try some of them at some point. I don't know when, but you know. But for now, I thought I would use these as a drawing gel and see how I got on with them. And as you can see, that first wave that I drew with the green with one layer looked fine, and that's over, you know, the pink. So that gives you an idea of what the coverage is like with one layer of these gel polishes. And as you can see, it's lovely. I didn't actually have to do 2 layers, which was really nice. So that's pretty cool. Time saver. Yeah. So considering how opaque these are, I'm guessing that their drawing gels must be really, really good, because if you can draw with just the standard gel polishes, I'm imagining, my speculation, that the drawing gels that they have must be so good. I'd love to try them. Anyway, so I'm flash curing each colour band as I go because I don't want to smudge, and I'm just using a wipe and a little bit of rubbing alcohol to clean my brush off in between each colour. And yeah, it's just a really simple, easy design. I've left the middle finger alone because I'm going to be blinging that out completely. So yeah, I thought I'd keep the design fairly simple on the other 2 fingers. That way we can have a really nice big bling nail. So technically the design of the nails aren't very difficult, but that bling nail, I'm going to show you in a minute when I've finished drawing this wave in purple. Yeah, bling nail is going to be awesome. This purple is really, really pretty. It's more pinky than, so it's a more of a warmer purple shade than a cooler purple shade, so it's more on the pink side as opposed to the blue side of things. It's just a really lovely lavender purple. Well, it's not really lavender. Lavender's more on the blue side, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a really pretty purple. Anyway, on to the bling. Now, I've only flash cured the wave lines because when I do my top coat and cure that for 60 seconds, that will then give those wave lines a full cure of 60 seconds at the same time. Time saver to just flash cure instead of full curing everything. Just makes sense to me time wise, time saving, you know. So I'm going to flash cure those roses in place. I used the Tony Lee Jewelry Gel to stick those on because it is a very thick consistency, so you can sink those roses down into it. And then to help lock those in place, I used some of the SBD London Diamond Gel and put crystals around it, which, you know, kind of helps secure them as well. You can also use the very tip of the SBD London Diamond Gel because it's got that really fine nib. You can then place in between the little crevices where the roses are, you can place some of that diamond gel in between, which will also help secure them in place. So yeah, I'm just going to add loads and loads and loads of crystals on this nail and totally bling it out, and I really liked it. So I've used all different colours, so going with the theme of the purple, blue and green, I've used all kinds of crystals. I just I do love playing with a bit of bling. So there's not much of the video left really, it's just me placing these crystals. So whilst I'm placing those crystals, let's have a little chat. How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. The weather's gone a bit pants, it's very windy and rainy and not very nice anymore. I'm almost recovered from my festival. I'm still hurting, my back is still giving me a lot of jip, but I'm mostly back to my normal pains as opposed to the extra pain of my jolly jaunt outside. Had my wedding anniversary, we didn't do anything because I was in so much pain still from you know, the festival, but yeah, been married 16 years, not bad. Hey, we're still going strong. It's just kind of cool. Love my husband, he's an amazing man, and he does look after me, bless him. He's got a heart of gold, bless him. So yeah, what have you been up to? Anything exciting? Watched any new movies? What have you done? Let me know. So I'm almost finished with the crystals, and then I'm going to flash cure them in place. Once I've finished faffing, look, faffing, still faffing. Got to have it exactly the way I want it. I'm so pedantic. So yeah, flash cure them in place, and then it's time to top it off and keep it tough. Oh yes, favourite part. So I'm going to use the Madam Glam top coat. This top coat does not does have, oh god, think Karen, think. It does have a tacky layer that I will remove with some rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe. I like to use two, so I will use one lint-free wipe it with some rubbing alcohol, and then I'll use a second lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol and wipe them over again. That's just my personal preference. I think it gives a really nice finish to the top coat if you do that, but do let your top coat cool down for a minute or so before you remove the tacky layer. That way you get that beautiful high shine from the top coat. So anywho, as we are at the end of the video, I would like to say thank you ever so much for coming to my channel, watching this video, spending some of your most precious time with me. Thank you, I appreciate you ever so much. If you have not done so already, feel free to subscribe, join the Frosty Fam. I'd love to have you. The channel is growing, it's really wonderful, and I'm overjoyed with all my lovely Frosty Fam. They are awesome, they are so sweet, the kindest people ever. If you've enjoyed this video in any way, shape or form, or you've learnt something, please go ahead and click that like button. It helps out my channel. It takes but a second for you to do, but it means so much for me and my channel. So please don't forget to click that like button for me. I'd appreciate it ever so much. And if you feel like it, you are more than welcome to leave me a comment. I am happy to talk to you about whatever you fancy talking about. So that is it. This is the finished set. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you like this set of nails. And yeah, that's all I have for this time, peeps. You take care now, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. Surprise! It's that time again. Let's find out who is still here right to the end. I'm really curious. Are you still here? If you're still here, put a flower emoji down in the comment section when you say hi. You know, just pop a little flower in there and I'll know that you are Frosty Fam OG. Alright, bye bye.
Jag svär mitt liv kretsar runt dig, baby. Du bär på mina bebek så att när jag visionerar vår framtid. Låt mig hålla dig, baby.
Someday soon I'm gonna make